Welcome to the Glitch Report, your daily marketing botcast. Brought to you by Leadpages. Here are our hosts, Kai and Luna.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at some really fascinating marketing news and trying to figure out, what's actually important for all of us.
Right.
We're looking specifically at a whole bunch of stuff that came out on April 8th, 2025. And so let's jump right into it. This first one is very interesting to me. It seems like Tumblr is making a comeback, especially with Gen Z.
Yeah, so it's a pretty fascinating trend. Right now, 50% of their monthly active users, and actually 60% of the new signups are Gen Z.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. I think this really highlights a couple of things, right? Like the desire for platforms that are more focused on aesthetics and, personal expression, and also those smaller, more tightly knit communities.
Right. Yeah. So it's like a total departure from those, the really algorithm driven mega influencer platforms like TikTok and Facebook that everybody's been talking about.
Exactly.
Huh, interesting. So now the fact that Tumblr is actually smaller is kind of a good thing?
Right, and it's appealing specifically to this demographic. I think that's really fascinating.
So what do you think the takeaway is here for people listening?
Well, I think if you are trying to reach Gen Z, exploring some of those niche communities on Tumblr might be a really valuable space.
Yeah, maybe less crowded than some of the other platforms.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. What are some of the ways that you're seeing Tumblr respond to this influx of Gen Z users?
Well, they're clearly paying attention to what users want. For example, they've introduced things like Reddit-style communities, and they have Tumblr TV, which is their own version of short-form video, kind of like TikTok. So they're definitely adapting.
Oh, yeah. I haven't really used Tumblr TV that much, but I know they've been promoting it pretty heavily.
Yeah.
It's interesting. They're still a pretty big platform. They're the 10th most popular social media platform in the U.S., so it seems like there's a pretty big opportunity there potentially. So I think, for people listening, the question is, does this mean that you should be paying more attention to Tumblr? Is this a real opportunity, or is it just a trend that we should be observing?
Right.
Okay, cool. So let's move on. Let's talk about this next topic, which is Google's ongoing fight against fake reviews.
Yeah, this is a big one.
What are some of the most recent updates on that?
Well, just in 2024 alone, Google removed over 240 million reviews.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That violated their policies, and that's a huge increase. That's like 40% more than they removed in the previous year.
Wow, 40%. So that sounds like their detection capabilities have really improved in the last year.
Oh, absolutely.
So how are they doing this? How are they managing to remove so many fake reviews?
Well, a big part of it is advancements in their AI. They're using a model called Gemini, and it's gotten really, really good at detecting and removing fake business reviews and spam, especially on Google Maps.
Right. I mean, everybody uses Google Maps, so, making sure that the reviews are accurate is a huge part of Google's business, I imagine.
Absolutely. And, it's not just reviews. They've also taken down something like 12 million fake business profiles and restricted over 900,000 accounts.
Wow. So the takeaway here seems pretty clear. If you're thinking about using fake reviews or any other kind of shady tactics, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The technology is just getting too sophisticated.
Yeah.
They're able to detect fake stuff so much more effectively than they ever could before.
Right. And Google's clearly taking this really seriously, investing a lot of resources into it.
Yeah. So yeah, the message is pretty clear. Focus on getting genuine reviews and making sure all of your online content is completely legit.
Right. Don't try to cheat the system because it's just going to backfire. Okay, so I've got one last thing to talk about, and this one kind of surprised me. It seems like a lot of brands still aren't really using LinkedIn to its full potential.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The latest numbers show that only about 16% of brands are really active on LinkedIn.
16%?
Yeah, which seems really low when you think about how important LinkedIn is as a professional platform.
I wonder why that is.
Well, I think a lot of brands still see LinkedIn as, just a place for job postings and recruiting and that kind of very specific professional networking. Not really a place to do like broader marketing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess it can be a little intimidating to try to create content for a professional audience.
Right. And, I think it's different from other platforms because you can't just post funny memes or whatever.
Right.
You have to provide something that's actually valuable to a professional audience.
Right. But if most brands aren't really doing much on LinkedIn, doesn't that mean that there's kind of a big opportunity there for the brands that are willing to put in the effort?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, all the data shows that organic posts on LinkedIn actually perform really well, especially for B2B brands and marketers.
That's interesting.
So yeah, I think if you're looking for a way to stand out from the crowd, LinkedIn could be a really good option, especially if your competitors are all ignoring it.
Okay, so that's a lot of information to digest. We talked about Tumblr's comeback, Google's crackdown on fake reviews, and the potential of LinkedIn. A lot of things are changing really quickly in the marketing world. So, as we wrap up, here's something I want you to think about. What's one assumption that you've been making about your marketing strategy that you might need to reevaluate based on everything we've talked about today? Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.